Hey, this is Victor from Helcim. Now I'm guessing you signed up with Helcim to take payments for your business. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a few different ways you can take your very first payment without having to pay any fees. That's right, I'm going to show you how to take a test transaction with the virtual terminal as well as payment requests. And then we can talk briefly about how you can test out your in-person payment hardware as well. Now, one cool thing about being a new Helcim merchant is that you can take up to $5 of test transactions without paying any fees. This means you can explore a few different tools and take transactions of, say, 1 cent or 10 cents, and still have plenty of opportunity to try things out before being charged for it. So with that in mind, let's start by looking at the virtual terminal. So if we go to the All Tools menu, we can select Virtual Terminal to open it up. Now, the virtual terminal is great for manual entry transactions. So if your customer's over the phone and they're reading you their credit card number, you can enter it in here to process the payment. Now, the first step is to attach a customer to this payment. Now, you've likely not created any customers yet, so hit Create a New Customer. Enter their name, their business name if they have one, and then enter a billing address as well. Now, it's handy to enter the customer's email address because if you want to email them a receipt after the transaction, you can. Now that we have a customer attached, we can enter a payment amount. So remember, let's do something really small, like let's say 1 cent. Next, we choose a payment method. So at Helcim, we can accept credit cards, credit-enabled debit cards, but also ACH payments, or in other words, bank payments. Now, once you've entered all the payment information, it's time to charge the card. Just click Charge Now. And just like that, you have your very first approved test transaction. Now, what if you don't have your customer's credit card information and need to send them a request for it? Well, the Payment Request tool does exactly that. To access it, go to the All Tools menu, and then click on the Payments tool. Here you can select Payment Request from the left side menu, then click on New Payment Request. Now what we see here looks pretty similar to the virtual terminal. The difference being, instead of charging your customer on the spot, this tool allows you to send a text, email, or a unique link to your customer to collect payment. So to create a payment request, we start by adding a customer. So the cool thing is we can either use the saved customer from last time's transaction on the virtual terminal, or we can choose to add a new customer by typing in a name and then clicking Add. Next, we'll enter the payment amount. Again, we'll do something small like 1 cent. So again, we come to the question of payment method. So we can either make this payment request credit card only, ACH payment only, or give the customer a choice between either. So now it's time to share the request. So for the text and email options, we can enter their mobile number or email address and then click Send. This will send them a stock message that has a link in it they can click that'll take them to a payment screen for them to complete the payment. Now with the link option, instead of the Send button, we're going to see a Generate Payment Link button. Now when we click that, it'll generate a unique URL that we can copy and paste to our customer that'll take them to the same payment screen. So what if your plan is to take in-person transactions? Well, luckily this $5 test transaction allowance also applies for our payment hardware. That's right, if you're using a Helcim Smart Terminal or a Helcim card reader paired with the Helcim POS app, you can enter a small amount into the POS window and then test the transaction that way. The difference is if you want to test out a physical credit card, you might have to use your own or a friend's. Since that transaction's really going through on your card at that point, I'll show you a quick way that you can void that transaction before it settles. First, you'll want to head back to the Payments tool where you can see a history of all your transactions. Find the transaction you want to void, select the 3 dots on the right-hand side, and then click Void. Once we click Void again, that transaction will effectively be canceled. Now this video is just about over, but don't let me stop you there. If you still have room left in that $5 test allowance, you can repeat the same process with any of our payment tools. Yes, that's right, you can repeat this test process with either the invoicing tool, payment pages, recurring payments, whatever your tool of choice is. Now, if you need guidance on how each of these tools works for taking payments, you can head to learn.helcim.com and look for the related article series on that tool. Apart from that, I hope you're now one step closer to taking a real payment with a real customer. This was Victor from Helcim Learn, and I'll see you next time.